Good evening, my friends. This is Frank Saliki, and this is Thursday night, which means Thursday night with Frank Saliki on TV Wakwetu. I hope you are all doing well wherever you are joining us, wherever you are. If you can just post in the comment where you're joining me this evening. I hope you're all doing well. And I always think Thursday night, I take the time to take time away from anything that is going on around us, anything that we're going through, to really take time out to reflect on what we can do with our lives. You know, so often we're focusing on circumstances, and I always say, you know what's yes, I'm not saying let's ignore circumstances, let's ignore what's going on, but what I always emphasize on is the fact that where we are, circumstances don't dictate our destiny. How we respond to our circumstances, however, will dictate our destiny. And for me, I always believe we're all born with a talent. We're all born with something in you. Some people discover it earlier on in their lives. Some people discover it later on in their lives. But we are all born with something special. And what is important in all that we do is that we're working on developing those skills. We're working on ourselves. You know what? People don't work enough on themselves. People don't focus enough on themselves, focus on working on themselves. You know, we're too focused on what other people are doing. We're too focused on competing with others. And because we're so focused on competing with others, there's no time for creating the life that we want. And I come here every Thursday to encourage you to be the best you can, to be the best version of yourself, to understand that you're designed for accomplishment, you are engineered for success, and you're endowed with the seed of greatness. That where we've come from should never determine our destiny, should never determine where we end up in life. We've all got something special. We were born with something in us. But in truth, so many of us are not using the gifts and the talents that we're born with. And the one thing that holds so many people back is belief. Listen, I've attended a lot of interviews in my lifetime. I've been to a lot of interviews, and I've never got a job where I've been going to job interview and I don't believe I can get it. I don't believe I can do that job. I've simply never got a job where I've woken up and say, I don't believe I can do that. Why? I don't even interview well. I don't even interview well if I go to a job interview to say, I don't think I'll get that job. But here's a statistic for you. 80% of the time I've gone for a job interview and I've really believed I can do the job and they can utilize my talent in that particular role, I've got the job. Because the way I've interviewed has been completely different when I believe that I can do something and when I don't. And the way we do something is completely different to the way we'll do something if we don't believe it. If you believe something, you're going to do a particular job differently to when you believe you're not good enough to do that particular thing. So belief is everything when it comes to success. Over the years, philosophers, teachers, you name it, have agreed and disagreed on so many things. But on this one thing, there is a unanimous agreement. I earlier said a man is simply what he thinks about all day long. William James, the founder of philosophy in America, said a man can achieve anything that he focuses on. The great Elle Nightingale says we become what we think about. Now, the power of the mind and the belief that we have of our ability, these two things are very interlinked. The way we think about ourselves is so important. We're living in a time on social media where people portray a certain way of life. We see what people are doing in inverted commas, or what they're achieving or what they have. Right? I live in the UK, but I know when people in Zambia have a party because it's on social media. I know when people in Zambia buy a new car because it's on social media. I know when people in Zambia build a house because it's on social media. I know when people back home achieve all these other things because it's in our faces. And you know what happens very soon? We start comparing ourselves to them. And because we're not getting the things that they have, what do we start feeling? We start feeling inferior. We're not looking at the gifts and talents that we have. We're not looking at how we can transform our lives and bring about the life that we want. Because our focus has gone on to what other people are doing. And then that's affecting our belief in ourselves, our belief in our own abilities. We start asking ourselves, well, how come this person has got that and the other? How come this person has achieved that and the other? And we stop focusing on our own talent. We stop focusing on building our own house of success. I'll give you an example. Two people are building a house. One person seems to be making a lot more progress. Instead of focusing on just building your house and understanding that, well, sometimes life happens and people finish their projects quicker than the others. You start focusing on the fact that the other person has finished their project quicker than you. What happens? What happens then is it eats away at your confidence. You start feeling you're not good enough. Belief, my friend, is a driver that will lead you to success. Belief is everything that you need if you're ever going to be successful. We talk a lot about things that we want to achieve, but so many people don't believe they can achieve those things. There are people who talk about they would like to be married, but they never believe that there's not anybody out there who would want to marry them. The people who say they would like a good job, but they don't think there's anybody out there who will give them that job. They talk about they want to have a business, but they don't believe there's anybody out there who will buy their product. So they've got all these other things that they desire, but they just simply believe they cannot get those things. They don't believe they can get those things. They don't believe they deserve those things. I hear people say, well, it happens to other people, just not to people like me. So many people feel they can never be successful. I saw somebody years ago wearing a t-shirt that said, "Born to lose." It was born to lose. Just think about that. Walking around every single day with a t-shirt that says, "Born to lose." Because that's what they believed. That's what they believed about themselves. Because if you believed you're truly born to win, you will not be walking around with a t-shirt that says "Born to lose." If you think you're good enough, you're not going to be walking around with a t-shirt that says "I'm not good enough." You're going to find a t-shirt that says "I was born to win." You're going to find a t-shirt that says "I'm good enough." Belief is very important because what we believe will determine the actions that we take. No person wakes up every single day and train for an Olympic believing they're never going to win. I'm just training for Olympics, but I don't think I can win. You don't do what it takes. If you believe you're not good enough, if you believe you're not born to win, you're not going to study that extra course that's going to give you new opportunities because you believe you're not going to win. If you believe you're not going to win, you're not going to work extra hard in work to get that promotion because you believe you're not good enough. My friends, what I'm saying this evening is once you reach a point where you believe that you're good enough, you're going to do what it takes to get to what you believe you deserve and you're capable of. If you believe that you're born to win, you're going to do what it takes in order to get to the goal that you've set yourself. Now, we have to look at where belief comes from, what we believe about ourselves. Why do I think the way I think? Why do I believe that I'm not good enough? Where did it all begin? Now, these are the things that you have to explore. Family is very, very important. And I've got 10 months old at home. And it's quite magic to think about the words that I use. For me, I'm quite careful to think what words can I use? What can I say? What can I speak into my little boy's mind? As it grows up, what words do I use? Now, family is important. I don't know, you kind of have these things where you do something when you're younger, somebody makes a comment, another person makes a comment, another one makes a comment. I think the one I had all the time was, "You got two left feet." It was comments like that that builds up belief. So we've got a lot of our belief system comes from what our relatives, what our close family members think about us. we have subconsciously taken up what they think about us. I've seen parents tell their children what degree course to go and do, instead of asking them what degree course can they do. And then we expect that when they're adults, they're going to believe in themselves, they're going to believe in that they can do whatever it takes to be successful, when we've made all their decisions, when we've not taught them to believe in themselves. I believe this, right? When you're 20, 21, that point reaches. No, the parent should not be telling, I want you to do that course. It's not their choice anymore. That person is an adult. And I always say, our children are a gift from God. Your parents, here's some news for you. Your children didn't come from you. Your children came from God through you, so that you can help mold them into becoming the human beings that God created them to be. And you know, so often we don't even know what we're here for. We don't know what our destiny is. We don't know what our purpose is. And if you do not know what your purpose is in life, it's very difficult to find your way in this confusing, ever-changing life full of ups and downs. In order for you to be fulfilled, in order for you to find fulfillment in this life, you have to know what your purpose is. Once you find your purpose, you find your belief. Once you believe in yourself, you can do what your talent allows you to do. Once you find your belief in yourself, you're not going to be waking up every single day looking around trying to see what Jenny and Mary are doing, because it doesn't matter what Jen and Mary are doing. It doesn't matter what John and Peter are doing. What matters is what you can do. What matters is where your talent is going to take you. Becoming what you were born to be, my friends, is the most important thing. So many of us have not even scratched the surface of what we are capable of. We don't know. We've got no idea what we're capable of. We've got no idea where we can take our lives. We've got no idea what doors our talents can open up, because we're simply too focused on looking at what other people are doing. When you have belief in your dream, when you have belief that you can succeed, it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. At that moment, the global economy is doing so many crazy things. So many people and so many unemployed people across the world. And it's easy to say, you know what, I can't succeed because of what's going on. You believe you can succeed, you're going to do what it takes. That's what believers do. Believers go out there no matter what and do whatever it takes. There's a book that says, all you can do is all you can do. And my friends, I can tell you this, so many of us simply never do all we can do. And we put our hands up and we say, life is tough, I can't succeed. No, you've not done all you could have done. But Frank, I did. No, you didn't. Because if you did, you would succeed. And we can always do more. We can always achieve more. We can always give more. But we need to believe in ourselves. And this brings back another dimension of belief. The belief that African people have in themselves is it's unbelievable. Our lack of belief in our own abilities, our lack of belief in what we can do, but our lack of belief in what we can do in ourselves is a crazy thing. If you do not believe in yourself, you'll have all the resources, but you will not succeed. We've got all the resources. Africa is the richest country, is the richest continent. Africa is the richest continent. It's got minerals. We got minerals. Start from South Africa. From South Africa, you got the gold and the diamond and the copper. You go to Botswana, you got the diamonds, you got the copper. You go to Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, you got copper, you got diamonds, you got gold, you got everything. You go to Angola, you got oil. Mozambique, you got oil. You go to the Congo, you've got all sorts of minerals over there. As you go up Africa, you find that every part of the part of that journey, the part of that map has got minerals, crazy amount of riches. But we become the poorest country. We've got the poorest people in the world because we think we can give everything to the West. The West can come and do because we never believe we can explore our own oils, we can explore our own minerals, and we can make everything succeed. And my friends, that is the thing that holds Africa back, is this big inferiority complex. And the big inferiority complex is what holds so many people from achieving their own great things, because they look around and they see other people who can do great things, and they say, you know what, I can't do what John can do, I can't do what Mary can do because you're better. And this inferiority complex holds you back from achieving the things that you can do. I've seen so many people being told by people who are not good enough to say it can't be done. I've seen so many people who have tried to impress people who are absolutely talentless, and these people are just trying to impress. I've seen people compete with somebody in the office who's never ever going to go anywhere anyway. Because we're focusing on what other people are saying about us, we're focusing on what other people are doing, and we have forgotten the mission that God has given us. We have forgotten that we are created for a purpose. We've forgotten that we're designed for accomplishment, we're engineered for success, we're endowed with a seed of greatness. And my friends, as long as you do not do the things that you were born to do, you were never going to see the greatness that those things will bring about. As long as you do not do the things that you are born to do, you're never going to see the greatness that is in you. And what a shame that is, my friend, because we never believe in ourselves. Because we never believe in ourselves. Listen, right now, the engineers who are selling out the market because somebody told them they were not good enough. Today, the doctors in this world who could have been, the people in this world who could have been amazing surgeons to a level of Dr. Ben Carson. But somebody along the lines told them they're not good enough, so they give up. Somewhere in this world, there's somebody who could be a great leader in an organization, but they're not doing those things because a long time ago, somebody said, not you. There's somebody who could be doing amazing things. They're not, because a long time ago, somebody told them, you look funny, you speak funny, your nose is funny, and they lost the belief in themselves. Right now, as I speak, there's somebody who's about to go to bed, and they're going to think about the dream that they had so many years ago. They're going to think about that dream, and they're going to say, well, if only I was born in a rich family. And because of where they were born, the belief in their dream disappeared. My friends, if you want to transform your life, you have to take action. Action is the cure of unbelief. Why? Because the moment you start taking action, you start seeing results. And when you start seeing results, you start believing in yourself. If you're climbing Kilimanjaro, when you're at the bottom, and if you stare at the bottom and you're just at the bottom for another week, you're just staring at it. This giant that is Kilimanjaro is huge as it is, but it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just becomes impossible to climb. And when we think about our dreams, so often we sit at the bottom of that mountain we need to climb, and we let this mountain become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it reaches a point we just don't believe we can climb it. Action is everything that you need to do. When I had a dream to become a motivational speaker, what did I do? I just started speaking wherever I can. I started making videos. I started doing something about it. I started getting better at it. About 2 years ago, my wife and I were watching one of the first videos I ever made, and we laughed because it was so bad. but that was the best that I could do at the particular time. And what I reflected on that is when I started doing that video, although I was looking at it thinking it was not that good, I still believed it was good enough. I still believed that from where I was, it was good enough. And my friends, you have to remember that you do not have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great. And these are all the things that we have to focus on each and every day. So belief is so important if we're ever going to accomplish our dreams. Belief is the driver of our lives. Belief determines the actions that we are going to take. So when it comes to working on ourselves, we have to understand it's not where we've come from that will determine our destiny. It's where we are going. Believing that there's a future for you. Believing that you can achieve wonderful, magnificent things. So many people just don't believe they're born to win. So many people simply don't believe they can achieve wonderful things. In conclusion this evening, belief is everything that you're ever going to need. Belief is a foundation of your success. Why? Because belief gives you hope. And if there's hope in the future, there's always going to be power in the present. If you believe that tomorrow is going to be better than today, you're going to wake up tomorrow with a lot more enthusiasm and you're going to take more action. If you believe that by the end of the year, your life is going to be a lot better than it was at the beginning of the year, you're going to take more action up to the end of the year because you've got that belief that's going to drive you in everything that you do. So many people fail in life not because they're not talented. So many people fail in life not because they're not good enough. So many people fail simply because they don't believe they can achieve wonderful things. They don't believe they can take their lives to a new level. They don't believe they can go that extra mile. You have to remember in all that you do, people might have said things about you, but what you say to yourself is more important than what anybody else is ever going to say to you. What you say to yourself is more important than what 100 people are going to say to you. The whole world might not believe in you, but if you reach the point that you believe in you, your life will transform for the better. You start seeing results that you've never seen. You will take steps that are necessary. Even if the journey is if it's going to take 10 years to see the results that you want, but if you believe that you can achieve it, you're going to take those 10 years to achieve those wonderful things. So many people give up on their goals simply because after a few years of not seeing success, their belief dies. If your belief stays alive and you believe in your own ability, you know that the door is coming. The door will open one day. That door that people call success, or that door that people call overnight success. I want you to know in all that you do, you were designed for accomplishment. You were engineered for success. You were endowed with the seed of greatness. Today, my friend, I want you to know you were born to win. I didn't know this in my young age, my younger days. I know it now, and I want the whole world to know it too. You were born for a purpose, and you were born for a time like this, and you're born to win. This has been Frank Saliki, the Thursday Night Motivation on TV Wakwetu. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. God bless our country, and let us always remain the people who are dreamers and doers to make our country a better and wonderful place. May God bless you, and may God bless your dream.